Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Kimberly Begg. I am the president of the Luce Center. We are a nonprofit organization that specializes in the conservative outreach, education, and mentorship of young women for the purpose of preparing and promoting conservative women leaders. We are thrilled by the exceptional response to today's event. I know that some of you are here for the very first time as members and as guests of members, so welcome. This is a fantastic time to be involved with the Luce Center. We have so much going on right now. I know at your seats, each of you have a handout that shares some of the exciting events that are coming up. I will just briefly share a few of those. In a few weeks, we are going to have Reagan Reese here. That will be on June 6th. Reagan is the White House correspondent for the Daily Caller. She is going to be giving a behind-the-scenes look at the White House briefing room. And this is really tremendous about Reagan. This young woman just graduated from Hillsdale College less than 3 years ago. So it's going to be really exciting to have her here, especially because in 2.5 weeks, we will have our summer intern class here. So we will have young women from across the country at colleges like Hillsdale College and the University of Dallas and Queens College in New York and University of Florida and Virginia Tech. And it's going to be really neat to have this young woman who is out there sharing conservative ideas, doing all this really exciting work in the world, to be talking to and inspiring our young women here. But you'll see we also have some other exciting events coming up. We are going to have Clare Morell here on July 18th. Clare is a fellow at the Ethics and Public Policy Center, and she is the author of an important new book that she is going to be talking about. The title of that book is The Tech Exit, a practical guide to freeing kids and teens from smartphones. She is going to be giving a talk, and we are going to have her books here, and she will be doing a book signing. We are also going to have Austin Roos here on July 25th. This will be an evening event. Austin is the president of CFAM, and he is going to be speaking on unwoking the UN. And we will have, yes, Austin does absolutely fantastic work, so we're going to be thrilled to have him here. We are also going to have Riley Gaines, Mary Margaret Olahan, Emily Jashinsky, and others speaking on July 11th at our College Women's Summit in Washington, D.C. And at that event, we are going to be giving out our Woman of the Year award. Stay tuned. We will be announcing the recipient of that award very soon. And that very special event is open to members of our President's Club. So we have so much to look forward to here. I want to mention our young women who are going to be joining us here in just 2.5 weeks. We have this wonderful tradition of having local community members help our interns in a very special way by hosting them in their homes. This is something that my family and I have done a number of times over the years. It's really a very special thing to have a young woman living with you, sharing her experience, having an internship in the area. In fact, on Sunday, one of our interns from last summer, Riley Swedberg, is going to be moving in with our family for 3 months. She is interning for Senator Ron Johnson. And the reason we're doing this again is because it has been such a positive experience for our family. We have one intern who still needs a place to live. So if any of you would be interested in hosting one of our interns, we would be so grateful. Come speak with me or Cindy or Catherine or any member of our staff. So, okay, now on to today's program. I would like to begin by thanking our very good friend and President's Club member, Paige Lee Hufty, for giving a gift to make this event possible. We are so grateful to her generosity and the generosity of so many of you in this room who support our work. Now, I would like to invite my colleague, Catherine Hendershot, to the podium to introduce our speaker. Catherine is a recent graduate of the Honors College at Belmont Abbey College in North Carolina. We first met Catherine 6 months ago in November at our College Women's Summit in Nashville. And there she heard from Liz Wheeler and Mary Margaret Olehan was there, Brett Cooper was there. It's a really amazing program. And Catherine told us it was the best experience of her life. So we invited her to interview with us, and she joined our team in February. We are thrilled to have her here. She does so many things and contributes to our team in so many ways, including overseeing our membership program. So if any of you have questions about membership, please feel free to ask Catherine. So please join me in welcoming Catherine to the podium.
It is an honor to introduce today's speaker, Seohyun Lee, a truly courageous voice in the fight for freedom and human rights. Born and raised in the heart of Pyongyang, Seohyun experienced life under one of the world's most repressive regimes. She witnessed the brutal realities of Kim Jong Un's dictatorship. In 2016, made the courageous decision to defect from North Korea with her family, risking everything in the pursuit of freedom and safety in the United States. Since arriving in the US, Seohyun has become a leading advocate for human rights and a powerful voice in the global conversation on North Korea. She has shared her story on some of the world's most influential stages, including a TEDx talk, a 2023 briefing before the United Nations Security Council, and as a Korea-Unification Opinion Leader recognized by South Korea's Ministry of Unification. Earlier this year, Seohyun spoke for us at Kenyon College in an event hosted by our 2024 summer intern, Yael Shevelson, who will be interning this summer at the Heritage Foundation. The college's Center for the Study of American Democracy co-hosted the event, and it was their best attended event this year, with over 130 students and faculty members in attendance. Her commitment to justice has been honored with the Bush Foundation's Lindsay Lloyd North Korea Freedom Scholarship and the Otto Warmbier Scholarship. Today, she continues her work as a member of the Global Advisory Council at the McCain Institute, working to bring awareness about the abuse of human rights in North Korea and advocating for a freer world. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Seohyun Lee.
Good morning. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you, Kimberly and Luce Center, for having me here with us. How is everyone doing today, by the way? Can I ask, where are you all coming from? Driving, took Arlington, took a train. Anyone took a flight? No. Okay, all local. That's great. I also drive 30 minutes. It's not a long trip, but it was enough for me to kind of reflect on something that we don't think about in our kind of daily lives. Talk about the privileges that is something like those rare or fancy elite status or special access like the Met Galas or maybe great fortunes, but I would say sometimes privileges are simple, more than you think. It's the something that being able to get into your car and drive, and it's being able to pop on the flight and going somewhere you want to go, and it's the freedom to move, to travel from point A to point B, without any of those fearness and restrictions and persecutions. So that freedom of movement, I will say that's the absolute privilege. Many of us take for granted, but not granted for everyone. And trust me, if there is anyone who understands that deeply, it's something like me who comes from a country where going on a flight could be a risk of your life, and then driving as a woman is unimaginable in North Korea. So I growing up in Pyongyang, the capital city of North Korea, and while I was growing up there, I believe that North Korea is the best country in the world. I had zero doubt about our leadership and my country. So because my father was the senior government officer working in the economic and trade industry in North Korea, and our family had certain privileges that most North Koreans cannot dream of. Like, for example, we had the priority and the those food rations, and then I went to those prestigious schools in North Korea. And studying abroad is very rare chance for North Koreans. But I didn't have those kind of basic freedoms you have here in America. Even within North Korea, I was not able to freely travel. So I said I was born in Pyongyang, but I have never been to the northern part of North Korea. So when I met those North Korean escapees coming from northern part, I felt like I'm speaking with another foreigner. That's the fact, unfortunately. Certainly, we have same culture, we lived in the same system, but the life was so restricted and separated, and then I just don't have same experience what they have up there. But the point what I'm trying to say is that even if I had those certain privileges as a part of the elite family, but it doesn't mean that I had those basic human rights we have here today. And then that privilege I had in North Korea meant the more severe surveillance and then punishment. So it means the higher you climb, the harder you can fall. But very ironically, I never cushioned my life up there, because how can you cushion something that when you don't really know how to cushion it? And in 2005, I moved to China for school. So my dad at the time was dispatched by the government to China to bring more those businesses to North Korea and make more those investments. So there's a two type of the students go to study abroad. One is funded by the government, but only those people who study engineering or architectures or a special kind of arts, they have those government fundings. But I was part of I would say family private funded students, because but it's not given, that's not the permission given to everyone. It's only allowed for those diplomats or those economic officers who already have the permission go outside and work, had that permission bring their own children only if they can afford the expenses of their own children, because North Korea regime do not support any single penny for my tuitions or my living abroad. And they do not allow entire family moving together to abroad. So at that time, my brother was serving in the military, so I was lucky enough to move with my parents. But a year later, after my brother finished up his military service, I had to move back to North Korea, because two children cannot stay in China all together as an entire family. So basically, parents exchanged us. So there was a moment I had to live by myself in North Korea, and then a couple years later I went back. There is the policy loosened up a little bit, and I was maintaining a good kind of the GPAs at the time, so I was selected one of the first round of the students going abroad again. And so I went back to China in 2010. But the reason I'm briefly explaining my back and forth experience in China and North Korea is that when I first moved to China, what I could see was the surfaces, what people wear, what people eat, and what people like watches, how they dressed up. That all like new things, very fascinated, but it was not enough for me to kind of open my eyes to the different like systems and cultures and what was really wrong with the system itself. So when I was first in China, I mean, I love to. I probably share this like in the Kenyan college as well, but I was only 14, and then the thing I love the most is that the fact that I can go to KFC every day to buy hamburgers. I literally went to KFC to eat hamburger for 2 months. For 2 months straight. I'm not lying. And I get like 10 pounds. And when I went back to North Korea, the most I missed was hamburgers too. So, but yeah, and then when I came back again to China, that time was a little different. I was almost in my 20s, I was like 19th. And then I started to notice like a little like differences, those like policies and then systems. But on the surface, I was like content with my life. So, I mean, the questions was like occasionally pops up in my mind, but I don't like kind of like sit down and then like deeply kind of thinking about it or like explore and searching the like reports, articles to compare those like differences. But the more I get to know about my country through others' lenses, the more I desire to wanna adopt those like capitalism, and then I also like free market to North Korea to make the country better. But I didn't realize at the time how hard it could be, and then it was impossible under the Kim leadership. And one day I took a taxi. I normally didn't announce myself from coming from North Korea because then people started to questions. Like they will throw out like hundreds of questions if they have time on me. So, and I don't like how the way people kind of like sees me. It's either like a kind of like, almost, I would say, yeah, some people like patted at me, and then some people was like disgusted just by the fact I'm coming from North Korea. Like, oh, why are there still many people like starved to death? Like, starting from those questions, it was a fact, but it made me uncomfortable. And I had the obligation to propagate my country to the foreigners. That's the like a mission as a North Korean carry out in a foreign countries. But there is little much things I can share with proudly to the foreigners, and so like those like guiltiness and then uncomfortable feelings are mixed together, and I started to avoid the conversations with the foreigners. That's why I didn't tell them I was from North Korea, unless they specifically ask me, "Are you like a Korean from North or South?" I just tell them I'm a Korean, but it's still a little different in Chinese languages. But yeah, I found my way around, not like specifically saying North Koreans. But at that day, he asked me like, "Are you from the North or South?" So I had to answer like, I didn't want to lie to them. So lie to him. I am from North Korea. And then he looked at me and, you know, like back in the 60s and 70s, China was very much similar to North Korea. And look at us now. We have much freedom than you guys. And then nobody like starving anymore. And then we can freely choose the jobs what we want to do. So those like also a little conversation left me like some thoughts on the system and the leadership, and the question that really provoked my deep desire to understand the system was he asked me like, why your leader Kim Jong Un never make that decision to open up your country and let people suffer. I've never separated the country and leadership before, never practiced that, and then never thought about it. But after his question, I figured out separating leadership himself and then country. But as I mentioned, it's like a betrayal action to go deeper, something that against the leadership. So, I just as a student, I was just living my life, studying, and then sometimes going for shopping with friends. And I had a good best friend at school. She was my roommate. Her name is Sujung. We spent almost 4 years together in the same dormitory, and she's like my sister and like another mother. But one day, the Asians from North Korea National Intelligence Agency popped up at school and took her with them. We are about to get a lunch after the morning classes, and then it was December 2023. So we are on the way, heading to the cafeteria. We are talking about like how we are gonna plan the those finals, and then you're gonna cover this section, I'm gonna cover this one. So we are like discussing those like projects we have together as well. And then she received a phone call. They asked her to come to the dormitory. We didn't expect that that's gonna be like last time we spent we had conversation, and then they just took her without giving any explanations and said that you need to go with us. And that was the last time I saw her. On the way, she went back to North Korea. Actually, she texted me, I don't think I can go back to school, so asking me if I can pack up her personal items and keep it for her, because the regime eventually took everything later on. So, and I called her back immediately as soon as I read the message, but the phone was already died. And later, what I found out is that her father was, by the time she was taken by, her father was already executed, and she and her younger brother and her mother were all sent to a political prison camp. So that like shook me. It's been more than 12 years, but every time when I'm speaking about her, it's really hard to not to get emotional. And I was saying, so that was the before that happened, I dreamed about my like career and life in North Korea a lot. Even when I was studying abroad, I wanted to be I had two dreams. I wanted to be a hotelier. I wanted to run a big hotel in North Korea. And I also wanted to be a banker. Given the fact that I studied finance in North Korea, I want to be the pioneer who introduced this like finance system into North Korea. But like after that incident, I I found myself didn't dream anything. Honestly, I didn't want to go back to North Korea. And I don't know how I spent like the next 6 months. It's just not in memory. Like, I couldn't remember like the next 2 or 3 months after she was gone. But yes, and in 2014 October, my father asked us like, he felt the same way. He didn't see any hope under the current regime, and then he says like there is no safe zone, and he got to the point that we need to take some actions to change the system, but the only way we can do is in a foreign country. So we, as a whole family, we made the decision to seek asylum in South Korea. But it's not very simple decision because it means those loved ones, like who is gonna left behind in North Korea, they're the ones who is gonna be punished because of my family's action. So my mom asked my dad, then what's gonna happen to my brothers and sisters? But if anything bad happened to my family, like my friend's Sujung's family, he was executed because he worked for the Kim Jong Un's uncle Jang Sang-tae. He was one of just like a senior official who took the orders from the leadership every day and just executed it. There is no his own decisions, but it is still the system that at the end of the day they put all the blames on those like junior level people, and then you can be executed for something that you are not really aware of and did not commit it at all. So after realizing that there is no one is safe, and then my dad also worried about our family's faith. If anything happened to my family, the relatives, like from mother's side, dad's side, nobody's gonna be safe either. They're still gonna be expelled from the Pyongyang, or even in a severe situations, they could be sent to the political prison camp as well, and my family could be all executed. So we wanted to find a way that minimize those risks for everyone, for us as well, and for those my family members left behind in North Korea. And we did it at the beginning, but later, unfortunately, there is a media leak about my father, and then that kind of like pushed us all the way coming to America in 2016, just to make sure that our family members are safe up there. But I cannot like stay silent, because I think no matter what kind of life I have here, I'm living with the strong sense of guiltiness for my people back in North Korea. And ironically, at the same time, this is the my kind of driven force to speak out and share the stories of those voiceless people. And I believe this is the best way we can liberate North Korea. But it's tough. It's very loneliness journey. I have two great mentors here, Greg Scholarship and David Maxwell. I met them right after I came to America. They've been such inspirational figures to me. It's really I find it's really kind of interesting to me see two white men who have no any connections with North Korea. They don't have any families there, friends there, but they are so committed in North Korea issues. So by looking at so many of those such people, it inspired me a lot. And then I wanted to continue to speak out, but in a more genuine and righteous way, not fitting the media, by speaking something that they would love to hear. I just want to deliver the most honest fact about North Korea, and that the fact is that the current North Korea wouldn't be able to change much under the current Kim Jong Un system. It is not the problem of the people. It is the system who was built by the Kim Il-sung, the Kim Jong Un's grandfather, and then reinforced by the Kim Jong-il, current Kim Jong Un's father, and now is ruining everything by their third game. So North Korea has been locked down for more than almost 6 years after the pandemic. He definitely doesn't care about the people in North Korea, and he makes and the world disconnected with North Korea because nobody can really get into and get out. It's very limited sources to find out the fact what's really happening in North Korea, but I would say it is a prison. No matter where you're from, whether from a elite status or the hostage status, they're all prisoners at the end of the day. But at the same time, it's the place where people live. We all carries those love, and then family responsibility, those values. So what I want to highlight as my last comment is that they are not much different from everyone sitting here. So please don't forget about those people thousands miles away from here. They are also they are not aliens. So I ask your continuous care about North Korean people, and then share the truth stories about them, and keeping the world, be aware of the situation, and do some actions, the real actions for the people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Seohyun. That was beautiful and inspiring. We have about 15 minutes for Q&A, so if you'd like to just come up where I'm standing, just make sure to keep it in the form of a question and as brief as you can so everyone can get to their questions. Thanks.
Hi, thank you so much for sharing your story, and wanted to find out, have you spoken or had any contact with Yeonmi Park?
I met her right after I got accepted to the Columbia University. She reached out to me, but she has been denying that she met me actually. So I don't know what was the purpose, but yes, she reached out to me and we have met in person. She's courageous woman, and don't get me wrong, she has so much done for this issue, but at the same time, being honest, she's ruining the image of North Korean people. Thank you.
How did your family actually get out of the country?
Very good question. So we are already in China at the time. We had our own passport, North Korean passport. So we were able to purchase the ticket to the third country, which means those one of the South Asian countries, and then from there we took the South Korean flight. Transit to the South Korean flight, and that's how the way we get out. But it is almost impossible without those assistance from South Korean government, NSA, National Security Agency. Yeah, of course.
Oh, hi, I'm Bill, a Canadian, but I grew up in China, so I visited North Korea in 2007. So I have a question. So we don't often meet defectors from Pyongyang, kind of the elite class of North Korea. So my question is that I heard that people, some academics, they say that elites in North Korea, maybe they don't like the Kim family, but they actually don't want to change the whole system or even to reunite with South Korea, because it's like East-West Germany. If there's a unification, the elites in East Germany will end up in taxi drivers in West Germany. So since you are from that class, what's your opinion and what's your sense of what other North Korean elites are thinking about the future of the country? Thank you.
Half of it is true, half of it is not. So, for example, you've mentioned it is true they're concerned about their future after the reunifications. There is so much gaps in the education, and then the I would say cultural differences is very distinguishable nowadays after the more than 70 years separations. But it is not true that North Korean elite do not want changes. They want changes, but they don't know how. But definitely, it's. I mean, the most scenario they wanted is the Chinese style, at least Chinese style economic reform first. Yes, but what I'm trying to say is that they do not like Kim family, and they do want changes. They don't know how to do it, and they need a support, external support, to make that happen for them, because Kim Jong Un definitely do not want changes. He knew as soon as he accept the economic free market, the regime collapsed, and which means he lose his power. Because his power is built on top of those brainwashing of the entire nation. Thank you.
Wow, this is an amazing moment for me, because I am a North Korean descendant. My parents are both from North Korea. My dad was from Pyongyang, and my mom is from Wonsan. And,
my dad and my mom are also from
Wonsan. Oh, really?
Wonsan.
From Wonsan. Wow. And so I heard so many wonderful stories from my mom about Wonsan, and she dreamt that her kids would one day go to North Korea. But now we are all in our 60s, 5 kids, and we've never been to North Korea to witness the beauty of the land. But my son, he went to North Korea on a medical missions. They allowed this medical team, neurosurgeons, to go in and train North Korean doctors. So that was amazing. And my son was able to go into Wonsan and see, and he wept the whole time. But his dream is to go back. And yet, my heart as his mom is I have yeah.
Please
I have
don't send him back. Please don't.
oh, please don't send him back.
The doctors he trains,
Yes.
they are not serving for regular those like publics. They are gonna serve for the Kim, make Kim live longer. So please
Yeah,
don't.
so that's not the, I see. But so I'm standing in front of you. I'm a North Korean descendant, and you are
Very
the
nice to
young
meet you.
generation. Nice to meet you. But what are some things, as you mentioned later in your talk, what are some things we can do, as Koreans living in the USA, as well as Americans right here? We would love to make changes, and we grieved. We as second generation North Koreans, we wept so many times because we lost our grandparents, never seen our grandparents, never seen our uncles and aunts, and we grew up in South Korea and here as like orphaned. And my dad passed away when I was young. So literally, I was fatherless growing up since 9 years old. And the mom raised 5 kids by herself. And praise the Lord. I mean, I really praise God for giving our family opportunity to grow up in the United States, the land of free, land of abundance. There's no country like America. And yet, I would love to help my parents' country. Our homeland is North Korea, and what can we do?
Best way we can do is educate the people in North Korea. Let them see the world, and then let them also understand the root cause of all those problems they carry in North Korea. But in order to having them that lenses, it's gonna take a long time. It's like a long-term projects. So information, knowledge is power. So information is very important, and at the same time, we need to create those communities speaking out for these issues. If you have great fortune, fund those like legitimate organizations to do their projects, but do not like sending out the money randomly. It could be actually not helping, ruining. Like we have great organization in DC, like Committees for Human Rights in North Korea, but yes, and we have some North Korean escapees here in America and South Korea too. I would say also giving them the education opportunities are also very meaningful. At the end of the day, they're gonna be the messenger for the North Korean people. I believe in that way, not just giving out free money, but just giving them the opportunities to study and giving the opportunity to get the hands-on experiences in the field where they want to grow their careers. Yes, I would say, yeah. Of course. That's my answer. Thank you.
Let's give Seohyun another round of applause. That was wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your story here. And I saw how emotional you got talking about your dear friend and what happened to her family and the sacrifice that your family had to make. So please know how much we appreciate you taking the time to share your story here, and then also to share it on Kenyon College campus. And we hope to get you to some other campuses too to share your story further. So thank you very much. Now, this is going to be a little bit fun. We have had a wonderful tradition here at the Luce Center of giving a Clare Boothe Luce Center for Conservative Women mug to each of our speakers We have really enjoyed giving our Yeti mug to our speakers. And I'll tell you, our speakers have loved it. They loved this product. A few months ago, Catherine Hendershot, who introduced Seohyun, tried to place another order, and it actually went through, it processed, we were accepted payment, and then all of a sudden the order was canceled. Yeti literally canceled us for having the words conservative women on our mug. So after asking for supervisor after supervisor, we finally realized that at some point there was just nobody else to talk to. And the answer was just no. So we put it on social media and got a lot of attention for it. We were on Fox News, we were on Newsmax, we were on CBN News, we're on a billboard in Times Square in New York. It has been wild. But here I have for you a Grizzly Coolers mug. Let me tell you a little bit about Grizzly Coolers. They were one of the first companies to contact us. And they said, not only we will fulfill your mug order, but we want to enter into an exclusive partnership with you. We want to send you merchandise for free. We're going to put you on our website. We're going to give you the proceeds of mugs that we sell on our website. It's been a really, really fun partnership. But let me tell you about Grizzly. This is a family-owned company made in the USA, unlike Yeti. They are based out of Iowa. These guys are the real deal. They are so much fun. We cannot wait to go to Iowa to meet them in person. But their very first mug that they sent us has the traditional quotes, which all of our mugs to this point have had. It is Clare Boothe Luce's wonderful quote, "Courage is the ladder on which all the other virtues mount." This is a very courageous woman here, so I am very pleased to give her this mug. We're thrilled that all of you are here with us today. We have a wonderful lunch outside. We hope that you will join us. Thank you so much.